Yeah, it is, but, you can't, I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
Hello and welcome to the Sports Hub Tailgate on CarneyHub.com. I'm your host, Cody Riedel, alongside Hub Sports writer Jason Ahrens. We're here in Buffalo country, not Elm Creek. We headed east. We're in Gibbon, home of the Buffaloes. Jason, you covered their game last week. Hit us with your thoughts.
Well, and my initial thought is Adams Central is very good. The Patriots came in here and took a 47-0 victory over Gibbon. Eli Van Meter, who's been putting up video game numbers earlier in this season at running back, was held to 21 rushing yards on 21 carries. So that's not going to get the job done offensively. Adams Central is just extremely big up front. I mean, they were competitors in Class B last year, and here they are in C1. They're a good team, and we're just going to leave it at that. And I liked what Gibbon's coach, Mark McLaughlin, said afterwards. He said, we can either do two things. We can either curl up and say, hey, good season, guys. We took a look in here tonight. We're done. Or he said we can respond in a big way. They've got a game with GICC on the road this Friday night. I believe it's a district contest. McLaughlin is 1-1 against the Crusaders in his time at Gibbon. So he's hoping to have a big bounce-back effort from his boys here in Gibbon.
The Buffaloes will try to stampede ahead.
Yes, they will.
Moving on, what are some other games from last week that you thought we should note on the show today?
Jumping back to Kearney. Kearney High gets the big 31-14 victory over Grand Island. 1-0 in district play now for the Bearcats. Luke McNitt, another big offensive productive day. Over 100 yards rushing and passing. I think he had 1 rushing score, 2 passing scores. So, the Bearcats rolling right along, and now they've got a winnable game in Lincoln High coming up this Friday. Did you go to the game?
I was there, yes. It was a good game. Breton Island lost their backup quarterback who started the game. So their third-string quarterback went in, and he did all right, but I mean, don't have that chemistry that you would have, I guess, with your starter or even your backup in there. So the third string did okay, but Kearney High was in control. And I just wanted to give props to our hub photographer, Rick Tucker, for getting this great shot of Isaac Brown. Nice touchdown catch by Isaac. Almost got his head ripped off on the catch. Not literally, in a figurative sense. Anyway, moving on to the other game that we want to talk about today.
Kearney Catholic will stay there. We're staying with the Bison theme here for some reason. They've traveled to Central City and took on the Bison there. The first thing when I picked up the paper and looked at the stats, what shocked me is Abe Clinch threw the ball 24 times for the Stars. They're usually a run-first team, but Coach Collings said that that's what Central City was giving them, so they went ahead and took it, and boy did they. 16 completions for Abe Clinch, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a big 48-0 victory over Central City. So as each week goes by, the Stars are proving to be more and more multi-dimensional, and good luck stopping them down the road. That's all I can say, because they're showing to be a complete team, and they're proving that the jump to C1 is not a problem for them at all. So
they've had multiple touchdowns and special teams this year, running game, passing game now going.
And it doesn't help Central City when you lose 3 fumbles in the first quarter either. So
not good. Anyways, well, some good games. There's got to be some good performances out there. What do we have for props?
Yes, there are a few props to give out, and I know we give out props to this guy often, but I cannot pass it again this week. You've got Shelton's Luke Glenn, over 300 yards rushing and 6 rushing touchdowns in a big win for Shelton over Axtell.
Talk about video game numbers.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a heck of a performance right there. Also, we've got eustis-farnam's Jordan Witovic, who the Knights were trailing by 8 to Loomis heading into the fourth quarter, and then he just goes and rushes for 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to give the Knights 24 unanswered points in a big victory over Loomis. He ended with over 200 yards rushing and 5 rushing scores, and I believe he tossed for a pair of touchdowns as well. So a great performance by the dual threat QB there at eustis-farnam.
He helped prove us wrong as well, as all 3, Buck, yourself, me, all picked Loomis to win that game in our picks, which you can see every Friday morning.
Thanks for that, Jordan. We appreciate that.
One more prop?
Yeah, one more prop to give out, and that's to Ansley Litchfield's Taylor Monks. He had over 120 yards receiving and 3 receiving touchdowns, which is impressive the way it is, but he also returned a kickoff for a score, and he also had a scoop for a score defensively. So he totaled 5 touchdowns in the day, doing it offensively, defensively, and with special teams. So he was all over the place, and a big win for the Trojans.
Jack of all trades. Looking ahead, what are some of the games that people should watch out for this week?
One team already mentioned last week was Arapahoe. They came out and got a big 16-point victory over Elm Creek, proving that they are indeed a player in that district. And now another big district game between Arapahoe and Overton. And clearly whoever wins this game will have the upper hand in the district. Caden Waverker will bring a high-powered offense with the Warriors into Overton. This might be Overton's first true test of the season, so it'll be interesting to see how they stand up. Also, you've got a pair of undefeated teams in Shelton and Amherst going at it in Amherst. And also you've got Minden taking on Kearney Catholic, which is intriguing. For me personally, it's hard to gauge Minden. Obviously, I haven't got a chance to watch them this year, but they're a 2-2 ball club, just a tough loss to an undefeated GICC team to open the season. But they also kind of got ran over by Gothenburg. I think the Swedes had over 340 rushing yards against the Whippets. So we'll see if they're able to bounce back and how well they perform at Carney Friday night.
And all of these games, very important now as all these teams are in district play now, searching for that district title. I guess moving out of the prep football ranks, let's switch it over to the Lopers. Still a goose egg over in the win column for the Loper football team.
Yes, there is, but at the same time, you got to think that Kearney's doing a fair job with the hand they've been dealt. Just tons of injuries. Matt Berry, who hasn't played quarterback in 3 years, has been a wide receiver, comes in and is very effective for UNK. Opening drive, he helps move the offense clear down the field, but of course there was a controversial scoop and score, 86-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown by Northwest Missouri State, and that really got the ball rolling there for the Bearcats, and it just kind of went downhill for the Lopers after that in a homecoming loss. They're going to continue to push on. Who knows how much more difficult it'll get. Tommy Flanagan, O'Neal Chambers, those are just a couple of playmakers that were injured in the Northwest Missouri State ball game. Also Jack Douglas at safety defensively. A few other people hurt. How serious those injuries are may be yet to be determined. But they're gonna play with whoever they have moving forward. So.
And one group of Lopers that haven't really hit a bump in the road quite yet. The number 1 UNK volleyball team seems to be on cruise control right now. Yes,
they are. They've got a couple of games at home coming up this weekend, Friday night and Saturday night as well. They've got Washburn coming in Friday, Emporia State on Saturday. But yeah, they're just talent all across the board for the Loper volleyball squad. I mean, whether it's Ariel Krilikowski, Bailey Sokolowski, Ellie Pesavento, and now you've got a true freshman in MJ Massonet putting up big numbers. Height, talent, they've got it all. And Coach Squires has got to be extremely pleased with his team's performance. So the Lopers keep marching on.
Alrighty. Well, good deal. I believe that's game, set, and match for us here in Gibbon. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the Sports Hub Tailgate. Make sure you read all the sports headlines in your Kearney Hub print edition. Check for breaking news on KearneyHub.com and read some random stuff from Jason, Buck, and I on the Sports Hub blog on KearneyHub.com/SportsHub. Good luck to the athletes this week, and hope you put up some video game numbers yourselves.
Dun. We've got Eustis-Farnam's Jordan Witovic from just said Eustis-Farnam.
Well, where's he from? Eustis or Farnam?
I don't know, Cody.
Golf USA is your one-stop golf shop in Kearney and Grand Island, specializing in golf supplies, full repair services, and custom club fittings to meet the needs of golfers young and old. Golf USA, your internationally known, locally owned golf store in Kearney and Grand Island.